It's time for The View, America.
I'm an emotional wreck after that Super Bowl. We're playing Monday Morning Quarterback with the commercials that scored and the ones that shocked. The stars who stole the halftime show and the game-changing play that had all hell breaking loose.
I am not Mr. Lebowski. You're Mr. Lebowski. I'm the dude.
Oscar winner Jeff Bridges talks about going medieval with Julianne Moore for the first time since The Big Lebowski and why he tried to put you to sleep at the big game yesterday. And commercials may not be the only thing going viral from the Super Bowl. Is the Arizona measles outbreak about to spread nationwide because of crowds at the big game? ABC's Dr. Richard Besser has the 411 on keeping your family safe.
This is The View with Whoopi, Nicole Wallace, Rosie Perez, and Rosie O'Donnell. It all starts now.
Welcome to The View, y'all. Welcome to The View. So, Rosie O'Donnell is out, but she'll be back, as we always do, come back. Joining us as guest co-host, please welcome style expert and just all-around groovy girl, the amazing Stacy London. And star of sitcom hit Cristela Alonzo, one of the funniest women in the world. So let's just start, okay?
Let's do it.
Because Super Bowl 49 is now in the record books. That last, oh my God, the last minute, my head exploded. All they had to do was hand the beast the damn ball.
Oh, I know.
All they had to give him the ball. Instead, what happened?
26 seconds. That's all that happened.
Wasn't it the second down,
26
too?
seconds.
Like, it was second down, wasn't it? I mean, it still wasn't third down.
They still had another shot.
They had another shot, that's right.
They just...
You know what I loved about this game? You could have missed the whole thing or, like, been doing other stuff and then come and, like, sat down next to your husband the last 10 minutes and you could totally have the whole conversation all day today because it's like nothing else mattered.
So that in the commercial. But there was such a great... I mean, you know, this team, I have to say that the Seahawks played a hell of a game.
Yeah, I love
Everybody
that.
played a hell of a game. Because, you know, just before the end of the first half, there was a, oh my God, I can't believe you guys are getting ready to try this. Because everybody said, you know, they shouldn't be making this move. This is going to be... And they went for it, and they got it. They got it. They scored, and it was great. And I guess they were thinking maybe, you know, we might be able to make something magical happen. And that is what sports is, isn't it?
Last year's Super Bowl, I mean, they shut out the Broncos.
That's right.
Seahawks did a great job of, like, moving the ball consistently. This game, they had a little trouble. I'm a really big football fan.
Clearly.
But, like, last play, Seahawks thought they were the Patriots because Tom Brady is a great quarterback.
Yes.
You know,
Cute. So cute.
Oh, are we glad he won? Poor guy finally catches a break in his life, this guy.
Sports authority voice. Or maybe they shouldn't have done that.
That's every guy that you see sitting there. You know, everyone has an opinion. Well, you know, that's the, you know, when I was the such and such, they didn't do that. And it's just like, dudes, can't we just say it was a hell of a game?
Yeah.
And none of us, I mean, this is the thing. People who sit back and talk about it, who don't do it, I'm sorry, I gotta take my hand and
Totally
bow down to those. That's what he does.
Yeah.
You know, they runs. It's a great game. It was a great game.
Yeah,
It was a great game.
How about the fight at the end, though? It shows you how, like, mad they are, right?
I mean, tensions were high.
I mean,
it's the Super Bowl.
Ooh,
Extra point for a fight.
I like to see them, though, slug it out. Like,
Hey! didn't see him throw the flag?
Yeah.
He's like, oh my God, flag!
You know, growing up in my neighborhood, they had fights that started for less reasons than that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this is really...
Yeah.
I just like to see men like get it all off their chest.
Well, they certainly did.
I thought the whole thing from beginning to other than the commercials, which made me want to
the commercials went from great to really bizarre.
Yes.
I mean, the Lost Budweiser dog ad was a favorite of a lot of people. But some of these ads, they were a little bizarre.
Yeah.
The one about the nationwide, the preventable childhood death. I mean, the boy says, I'm not going to do any of these things because I'm dead. I was like, what?
Yeah.
You remember when commercials excited you? Like, I'm cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yes.
Now it's just like...
Now it's dead children.
I can't.
Now, Nationwide,
Enjoy football.
in response, said preventable injuries around the home are the leading cause of childhood deaths in America. So, to my husband, I'm not neurotic for plugging all those little things into the sockets. Most people don't know that. The sole purpose of this ad was to start a conversation, not to sell insurance. I mean, they did.
But so was Katy Perry in the air.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about a nation.
She was a firework.
Right?
She was a firework.
I agree. I thought it was sort of a Debbie Downer for the middle of a football game. I don't know. I didn't like it.
I didn't watch a lot of the halftime show. I know I missed the last show, but I had to go to the bathroom.
How long were you in there? It was a halftime show.
Listen, first of all, I was at the TV going, oh my God, okay. And if you've had a baby or if you get overexcited, you're spritzing.
It's true.
And I don't mean you're spritzing because it's hot. You're like a spritz on the sneeze, when damn.
But you don't even have to have had a baby for
I was going to say, I do that all the time.
But I missed the toe fungus commercials, sadly.
The toe fungus?
Wait, how did we go from Katy Perry and Missy Elliott to toe fungus?
It makes sense to me. It makes sense to me.
Because these were part of the commercials. But Katy looked great. Lenny Kravitz looked great. Missy Elliott.
Missy killed it.
Killed it.
Hashtag beast mode. Hashtag killed it. We're sure magnificent right yet.
I mean, Katy was great, do not get me wrong, but Missy, when she came on stage, I blew up.
Missy had a little Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation thing going, which I totally liked.
There wasn't enough Lenny Kravitz. There was never enough Lenny Kravitz for me.
Agree.
He was there and then he was gone. And I sort of kept
was like,
waiting for him to come back.
he's like a lollipop. I want to put him in the freezer.
He's like a lollipop. I want to lick him.
Lick him, you hardly know him. Okay, never mind. That joke is older than everybody in this room. Okay. It's crazy, but when you start thinking about those things, you just go off.
To me, the commercial that bothered me was the Always commercial, the Like a Girl. It was just like, it was kind of empowering at the beginning. Because it was empowering, and it's like, I get it. And then at the end, boom. Reminder that a couple days a month, I just hate myself and I'm in pain. Like, you go, girl, with your pain.
I don't know. I thought Like a Girl was like a boss. I really did.
I don't know. I mean,
I thought it was
the beginning was great. The beginning was great. I was so motivated. I was so inspired. And then I see what the product is, and I'm like, I don't want to be reminded of that right now. I'm watching football.
What about the...
I'm eating nachos. I'm eating nachos.
McDonald's. I love the McDonald's.
Oh, I love
that night.
commercial.
Should we explain that one to people?
Yeah, McDonald's is doing something starting really today where randomly throughout the country, throughout the nation, they will pick people to ask to do something loving, something wonderful. As you saw in the commercials, call your mom, and they will take care of your food thing. I just think it's
nice.
It's really nice.
Nice, right?
And dads were on parade. Dads were on parade. Folks
called that.
saying, appreciate your dad, or dads, thanks for being a dad. But 2 years ago, before we go to break, I want to tell you about a great commercial. You can look it up. It was a PSA, and so I wish that they had run it also in here. And it's a woman is looking out the window, and she hears outside, ooh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. And she's like, what the hell is going on? And so she looks out, and there's a giant black man who has his hand on his hip, and he's going, ooh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. And then she looks a little more, and you see that he is rehearsing his daughter's cheer with her. If if you're gonna, if you're gonna talk about dads and what dads can do, this to me is a great commercial, great PSA, and I hope someplace they'll start running it again. You know, we're gonna go and come right back because we got more hot topics, child. We got more.
Whitney Houston's family is facing another crisis, and we've got the latest next.
Guest co-host Stacy London and Cristela Alonzo. So now the Republican race just lost a potential candidate, apparently, when Mitt Romney announced Friday he wasn't running in 2016. That was unsolicited applause.
I won't
but
tell
Nick,
him about that.
why is he deciding not to?
It's a big deal because right now what they're doing is running for the big donors. So this is a race to lock up the big donors that allow them to put ads on television in early primary states. Well, just all the big donors around the country. And the Republican field, we had Governor Huckabee here last week. He laid it out in a nice way. There's sort of like primaries within the primaries. So there'll be an establishment guy, like a former governor, like maybe a Jeb Bush. Mitt Romney would have competed with Jeb Bush and maybe your governor, Chris Christie. So the fact that Mitt Romney is out, I love Chris Christie. Chris, we love you. Even though Chris Christie went to a soccer game instead of the Super Bowl. I've done a few of these campaigns.
What?
I know. Chris, go to the football games.
He looks like Harry Potter.
70 million people are watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Some of them have to be voters.
Yeah. Well, he's in Europe, and they like soccer, but we like football here. And you know, this is I think he's not. I think Chris Christie's great, and I think that he'll be a force in the Republican primary. There are a lot of good guys. Scott Walker is the one everyone's talking about now.
How's his hair?
Scott Walker's got great hair.
Because all I remember about Romney was his hair.
He's got great hair. He was on this week with George Stephanopoulos this weekend. He did a great job. But there is a sports primary that happens, and a lot more people care about sports than politics. And you got to get the sports stuff right. He rooted for the Dallas Cowboys, and he went to a soccer game on Super Bowl Sunday. Thumbs down.
Wow, Chris, work on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
But he stood on his feet. Now, how about this? Outlets, and this is a tough story. This is a tough story to even start to talk about. But outlets like TMZ and E are reporting that Bobby Christina Brown was found unresponsive in a bathtub on Saturday, and they say, according to TMZ, now this isn't any doctors, this isn't anyone of importance. This is TMZ saying this, okay? They're saying that the prognosis does not look good, and the family, have made no official statement about her condition, although her dad did say, could y'all just back off us a little bit, because this is a tough time for the family. So let's just back up. So I guess what we're doing is just letting you know that there's no more information than that, but we would be remiss if we didn't mention it.
And send our best wishes.
And send our wishes, exactly.
Definitely. Absolutely.
So, do you know the store Suffrages?
Yes,
which is a major store. There was a thing on PBS about how it started, Suffrages, and it had Jeremy Piven played Mr. Suffrage. Well, they've announced that they're devoting 3 floors of its flagship store to unisex clothing, even using gender-neutral mannequins. I don't know what that means.
I don't understand.
I've never seen any mannequins that weren't gender-neutral.
No kidding.
No, I mean, you snatch some drawers off the mannequin, you don't know what they are. I mean, please. Barbie can, mannequins.
But mannequins are mannequins. I mean, you're going to tell me 3 floors of unisex clothing for real men and women? I mean, there are some differences in humans.
I know. Yeah. Well, maybe you're not going to find the men's lingerie, as you were
I know. It's
what
like,
was the other thing?
Where are the men's dresses? You know, it's like, it's unisex. It's like, what do you do? I wear a lot of men's clothing, though, and I wear men's shoes just because I like the style of it.
Yes. You know? But you're a style expert. What is this, like a trend? I mean, is unisex marketing a thing?
Well,
why would they do this?
I think unisex, it's an interesting marketing technique. I mean, it's better for pajamas, I think, than real clothing. But, you know, it just does not take into account that things are cut differently,
That's it.
even for menswear style women's clothing. I mean, you know, you don't want to have business where you have no business having business.
Well, and one thing you always talk about is the
Empty
fit. How
pouch.
do you...
Empty pouch.
Empty pouch syndrome.
EMS, it's the empty pouch syndrome.
There you go. There you go.
Empty. Yeah, okay. Cough syrup today, sorry.
Yes, it works. Yes, it works.
Yeah. But I mean, suffragists, I mean, it's kind of crazy to have, because
maybe half a floor.
That there are stores in Japan which go gender neutral for just about everything. It's a red symbol. There's a couple stores here, and I don't know the name of it, though I know that it have. Uniqlo, right?
Yes, but
they have all kinds of neutral stuff.
Yes, they do.
But they also have women's stuff and men's stuff.
And their gender neutral or unisex stuff is mostly outerwear. Like they do things or scarves or things that are very easy to translate between the sexes.
But like, what's the big hassle with having stuff for women and men? Like, is it hard? I mean, why would anybody do this? Like,
I'm not sure.
I'm fine with the way things are.
I really have to say, I agree. I think that 3 floors is a lot to dedicate to unisex clothing.
I don't like the idea of having to compete with men in the clearance racks. That's where I shop. And honestly, I already have to fight with you women. I can't do it with the men.
No man would find a clearance rack. Don't worry. You have it on. Shopped with a man lately?
What about this?
It's true.
It's crazy. With series like The Walking Dead and Mad Men set to return, a lot of people will be binge watching, catching up, you know, with the shows that they like.
I love it.
But some new damn study suggests that binge watching can be a sign that you're depressed and lonely.
Oh my God, we're so screwed.
I am so depressed and lonely.
Wait, there's another word for it though. It's not binge watching. It's the cough syrup again. I can't think of it. But
what?
Overdose. A overdose. What do you think?
Listen, I would take a overdose over any other kind of
I didn't think of it. I'm just sharing it with you.
I mean, look, overdose binge watching, I don't think that it's lonely. I love it. It's like, oh, it's snowing, it's rainy, right? You just want to stay inside, and I love not having to wait a week.
You're not depressed if you watch what's on next? I mean, I don't understand why watching the same show means you're depressed.
Yeah, exactly.
How can you be depressed watching like Modern Family and Big Bang Theory? Like, how does that work? That makes no sense.
You know, I binge watch a lot of stuff, mostly because it's the only way I can catch up.
Right.
You're busy. You're not depressed. You're busy.
No, I'm busy. But you know what? I'm about to binge watch. I want to binge watch Empire because
me too.
Taraji Henson, you are kicking ass on this show, girl.
Hashtag cookie. Love you.
I'll binge it too. We'll report back.
Heaven, it is heaven. Now, what?
The costumes are supposed to be absolutely amazing.
Everything is amazing.
I mean, I haven't seen it yet.
All the performances are great, but Taraji, no, because she's been around. She's what my mom used to call a utility actor. You see her in a lot of stuff, but this is the first time people are taking notice of her, and I'm telling you, she's fantastic.
Awesome. My friend Danny Strong is the writer there too, and I'm excited to see it. Yeah.
Now listen, the weather is nasty. It's Groundhog's Day. He says he didn't say that. They don't talk. But apparently the groundhog saw his shadow.
I saw my shadow today.
So 6 more weeks of this crap.
But wait, is this a surprise? I mean, global warming, who needs a groundhog? I'm serious. I mean, we are going to have snow now until May.
Well, look, this is...
I've got something, though, to make it feel better.
This is the greater thing.
Okay, this is good. This is good. And if you could use a luxurious vacation as much as all of us need one, pack your bags, because every week in February, we're giving you a chance to win an amazing getaway. Enter to win the Views, Views Caribbean Viewcation Contest. 7-night cruise vacation courtesy of premium cruise line Celebrity Cruises. Celebrity Cruises provides modern luxury vacations all over the world, indulging guests with stylishly designed accommodations, award-winning restaurants, and attentive service. That sounds so nice. We're giving away our first of 4 cruises just days from now, so don't wait to enter. Find a creative way to tell us why you or someone you know and love deserves a viewcation. Follow us on Twitter @The View to enter and to learn more.
We'll be right back. No, we're not allowed to answer. We're not allowed. Because we actually work for someone else. So we can't be on it. We're off, right? We're still on right now?
Did the measles go viral at the Super Bowl yesterday? And is it headed to your kid's school any day now? Don't freak out, because we're putting ABC's Dr. Richard Besser on the spot next.
Yesterday's Super Bowl was affected by the growing measles outbreak, where health officials were actually screening the crowd for symptoms. Now, thousands of fans are headed back home around the country right now, so we're going to try to find out how to keep our families safe. Well, not safe from ABC News Chief Health and Medical Editor, Dr. Richard Besser, but from measles. So please welcome Dr. Richard Besser. So, what's the... You know, listen, there are 84 cases of measles spread over 14 states. Now, people are worried about the Super Bowl, and we hear in the city a couple of blocks away that thousands of people could have been infected by some guy who passed through Penn Station. What the hell is going on? I mean, measles were gone in 2000. Right. What happened?
I mean, I can't believe that in 2015 we're talking about measles outbreaks in America, because we did. We knocked this out. This was one of those victories. But the rest of the world did not knock out measles. And so what happens is when Americans go and travel overseas, they can bring it back. When people come and visit, they can bring it here. And if we don't maintain high levels of vaccination, it can gain footholds. And parents these days, they don't see measles, so they're saying, why should I give my child a shot? No one wants to give a shot to a child.
And around the world, do you feel that it's because people don't get vaccinated for measles in the first place?
Well, it's a mix. You know, there's some countries that haven't been able to achieve the high levels where the quality of healthcare isn't so good. But then there was all the damage that was done years ago when there was some bad science out that raised concerns about vaccines. And not just in the U.S., but in England and other places, people said, I don't want to give a vaccine. I mean, I'm a pediatrician. I don't like giving a shot, but I know that it protects people from disease.
Well, this is a highly contagious disease.
When we talk about contagious, this sets the standard. It doesn't get more contagious than measles. If someone in this audience had measles, right, every single person in this room would be exposed to that. And people who came in here 2 hours later would still be exposed to the virus. They would hang in the air that long. It's very contagious.
But can you break it down? So I have a 3-year-old. Before he could go to preschool, he had to be vaccinated.
Yes.
So is he safe, or if there's someone, if he's exposed, I mean, who's safe and who's at risk?
Well, this is this is one of the best vaccines we have. So 1 dose of vaccine, 95% of children are protected. 2 doses, 99%. Okay, that still means that 1 in 100 is at some risk. But the big concern I have is that, you know, New York is very strict about vaccination, but there are 19 states that allow parents to say, I don't believe in vaccination, and they can sign that, they can get their doctor to sign off on that, and they can send their child to school.
So how come there aren't schools for children who haven't been vaccinated? Because I know this is going to sound harsh, but I'm sorry. You exposing everybody else because you believe that this is leading to something else doesn't work for me. And hold on to your Twitter accounts and your emails, because I don't care.
You know, people say, well, it's my choice as a parent not to vaccinate.
It isn't.
But you're not only protecting your child when you vaccinate, but you can't vaccinate a child until 12 months. And so we're protecting babies. We're protecting people who have cancer or immune problems who can't get vaccinated. It's something we do not just for our families, but we do it for the whole community.
So how does it spread?
Yes.
I'm just curious. Like, is it... What do I have to do?
Well, it spreads in a few ways. So when you have measles, before you even have that rash, you're going to be coughing. And when you cough, you spread it into the air. Yeah. It can hang in the air. If you have it and you touch a surface, then you can get it off that surface for at least a couple hours. So it's very easy.
It lives on a surface.
It lives in the air on you.
Even today, so President Obama urged everyone to get vaccinated. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie said there's a balance. As a doctor, there's no balance to be had, right?
There's no balance here. There's no balance here. This is something we do for each other. It's something we do for our families and for our children. As a pediatrician, I know there's not one thing I do that provides better care and better safety for the children in my practice than vaccinating them fully and on time.
Okay,
wow.
So here's a question.
You hear that, guys?
With vaccinations.
Yeah.
With the vaccination, how long does the vaccination work? Do you have to get revaccinated at some point in your life? How long? What's the span?
Important question. So the good news is if you've been vaccinated, you don't need to be revaccinated. If you've had measles, it gives you protection for life. Right. But if you're an adult and you've only had one shot and you plan to travel overseas, they recommend you get a second dose because there's measles around the world. Right. And if you don't know if you're protected, your doctor can do a simple blood test and tell you.
And also, babies are at risk. Please pay attention. I have a 10-month-old great-granddaughter who now is in, sort of at risk for this, and she can't get vaccinated. And so if you don't care, I understand you want to do what you want to do, but it's not up to you. If you're a parent, you have to think of the bigger picture. We all have to be part of this. It can't just be one and then not everybody.
That's how we got rid of it the first time.
That's what we did.
That's how we eradicated measles.
I mean, the good news is most people who get measles recover fully, but not all. It's 1 in 1,000 children who get this disease.
Well, you don't want your kid to be that one.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know what?
Exactly.
I love when you come here, Dr. Besser, and you will be answering your questions about measles today on Twitter at Dr. Richard Besser and on Facebook. I don't know.
Yeah.
And we'll
you ask it, I'll answer.
He'll answer. And we'll be right back with the quite delicious Jeff Bridges.
He's the Oscar-winning superstar with true grit, a crazy heart, and a lifetime of unforgettable roles.
The trick is not to spill.
Jeff Bridges is in the house.
Standing because Oscar winner Jeff Bridges stars in the new swords and sorcery blockbuster Seventh Son, playing a legendary master who has conquered gods, not to mention perfected the art of winning a bar fight. Take a look.
I beg of you, do not do this.
Boy, this won't be an execution, merely an education.
Feel it. I was begging for your life, not his.
The trick is not defeating him with a cup. The trick is not to spill.
Please welcome the fabulous Jeff Bridges. Honey.
That's the most cat calls I've heard of.
He's not taking his clothes off. Just stop. So now this new film, Seventh Son. What made you decide to do this one?
Well, I'm into myth. I dig myth, these ancient stories that can shine some light on, today. Today what we're up to. And I wanted to kind of transcend the old, battle between good and evil.
Right.
And I had this great Russian director, Sergei Bordov. And I'm looking through my books and stuff that I research, for parts, and I come across this great Solzhenitsyn quote. May I read it to you?
Yes,
I'm holding it in my pocket. I got a bunch of cheat sheets.
You fit in great.
Oh, look, I got my cheat sheet. I'll put it right on my butt. Okay. So this is what I came across. This is what I'm hoping will be in our movie a little bit. If only there were evil people somewhere insidiously committing evil deeds, and it were necessary only to separate them from the rest of us and destroy them. But the line dividing good and evil cuts through the heart of every human being. And who is willing to destroy a piece of his own heart?
Oh, incredible, right?
Isn't that
incredible. Now, one of the hardest things for me, though, is that part of the evil is Julianne Moore.
Yeah.
Your pal from The Big Lebowski. Can you talk about working with her again?
It was wonderful playing with her. It was like we had a long weekend, you know, and just got back to it. You know. We had a great time. Oh, yeah, she's such a wonderful person. And now we're doing the rounds promoting the movie, and it's so much fun to do interviews with her. You know, you can kind of jam on the thing together. It's a lot of fun.
And I hear you have a passion for photography.
Yes.
And that you take pictures behind the scenes when you're working on a movie?
Ever since Starman, I started to take these pictures with a funny kind of picture, a wide lux. This would be a good shot right now, because I would get you all the way over to Whoopi in one shot like this.
Like
now
a panorama?
Well, now they just stitch them together.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
This is like a film camera, and then I would give it as a gift to the cast and crew. And this is one picture. Oh, then you've got some pictures I took from this latest movie. They're not, yeah.
Oh my God.
And then there's one of Julian.
What a kind gift.
Yeah, this one of Julian.
Wow,
now, see, that's not the right format. They said they were going to show the right format. If they panned away, you'd see my daughter
It's like
playing.
a true photographer.
Yeah.
Right.
You see, my daughter plays. I always take this game called Pass the Pigs with me, and my daughter is playing with Kit Harington, you know, from Game of Thrones. They're playing pigs off in the next.
I have to ask you, because you have one of the great voices of all time, and people know it's when we hear, we know it's you.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just recorded an album.
Oh yeah.
That will help.
Oh yeah, that.
No, this is kind of extraordinary.
Yeah.
It will help people relax and fall asleep. And an ad for that album played during the Super Bowl yesterday. Wait, we're going to show you the clip. We're going to show you the clip.
Okay.
Let's see the clip.
I love listening to intriguing sounds when I drift off into my dreams. Others might.
So, you know what? Let's hold. I'll ask you more about this when we come back. I'll be right back. When Jeff Bridges. It's all right.
What's his favorite role? Who was his funniest co-star? How about his most embarrassing moment? Jeff Bridges has the behind-the-scene pass to his biggest movies. Next.
We're back with the great Jeff Bridges, and we were talking about all that you do for Hunger. Did you want to say something about the Super Bowl ad?
I'm just saying, with the Super Bowl ad, it was so much fun. I got to work with a bunch of my friends, Keefus Chauncey, who did all that wonderful music for True Detective. You know, he worked with T-Bone Burnett with that, and my dear friend Lou Beach did the cover and stuff. But the thing that was most exciting for me is that all the sales from the downloads and from the album go to Share Our Strengths No Kid Hungry campaign to help end childhood hunger here in America. I just read a report from the Southern Education Foundation that was really surprised me, that over half of the kids who go to our public schools are from low-income families, and half of those kids are eligible for free school breakfast, but they aren't getting them. So we're trying to turn that around. We're working with governors like Governor Sandoval from Nevada and Hickenlooper from Colorado to turn that thing around.
It's bipartisan.
So I want to encourage you guys.
Now, do you mind if we play a game with you? Because you've been in over 60 movies. I think I've seen at least 55 of them.
Yeah.
But could we ask you, sort of a lightning round here, could you name your favorite Jeff Bridges movie?
That's tough. You know, it's the corny thing the actors say about it's like asking who's your favorite kid.
Sophie's Choice,
but
right?
look, I have got my cheat sheet.
That's allowed. Look, we all cheat. We all cheat here.
I'm gonna have
totally allowed. It's like
have to get my specs out.
Okay.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. Okay. Oh. Yeah, see, I didn't even put that one on my list. I missed that one.
See, she
but the Coen brothers, you know, you got. But here, you know, where's Rosie Perez? You know, fearless.
Oh, yeah.
You got it, you're working with Bo, you know, fabulous Baker Boys.
I love that.
What about Sweetheart?
Well, that's kind of.
Is that not on there?
That should be on there, you know.
Grabbing his
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
my dad, you know, working with my dad, Lloyd Bridges, you know, Tucker, on the way, and Lebowski's got to be on there.
Yeah, okay.
But I've been lucky, you know.
Okay, and your best chemistry with a female co-star.
Now, that's a real long list.
I'd stick with True Grit. I'd stick with her. I'd just go with True Grit the whole time.
No, Crazy Heart.
Okay.
So Maggie Gyllenhaal, Crazy Heart, got to be up there. But Michelle Pfeiffer, Baker Boys, Julianne Moore, right? You know, Lebowski in this one, Seventh Son, Sybil Shepherd, Jane Fonda, Barbara Streisand, Karen Allen, Rachel Ward, Kim Basinger, Sally Field, Glenn, you know, come on, Glenn Close, Joan Allen.
There's a little bit of color missing from there.
What's that?
All right, I'll let you settle this next time. Jeff Bridges, Seventh Son opens in theaters this Friday. You're going to have to come back, and we will be right back.
No kidding.
Hey, now, we have a message for you, Rosie Perez. You tell.
Rosie, I miss you, Rosie, but I'm going to encourage everybody to go see your play that's opening tonight. Fish in the Dark. Break a leg, baby.
And we're just going to say thank you to Cristela, Alonzo, and Stacy London. Where can we catch you guys? When's your show on?
Oh, Friday nights at 9 on TLC, Love, Lust, or Run.
And how about you, Cristela? Sorry, I didn't mean to grab your breast.
Friday nights at 8:30, ABC, Cristela.
And
All right.
Rosie K's back tomorrow.
I think we said that, but you know what? Have a little good day. Have a great day. Enjoy.